Let's go. It's time. Put on play pants.
Episode 41, and away we go, man. The Play Pants Podcast, Rod Ryan, Jason Ginty, brought to you by the Pirates of the Quarter Tour. I thought, Rod, we'd actually do the podcast the way most guys do podcasts and maybe throw their sponsor in right out of the gate. I think that's how it's supposed to be done.
I've never heard a podcast, so I don't know how to do it. Clearly, I've never heard anyone do the type of broadcasting that we're currently doing. Otherwise, I would sound a lot different.
I'm sure we did. If someone said, hey, you guys should sit down and watch this one, maybe try that, I'd be like, nah, because I'll just be depressed and we'll never do this again. So let's not do that, man. We got a lot to cover today. Rod's got a golf tournament coming up. We want to talk about that real quickly. I can't wait for my invitation for that. We got to get through some Mardi. You don't say it like it's going to happen. That's weird. We got to talk about a little Mardi Gras because there's been some shit going down. And then there's been this list that came out, and I looked at it briefly, and it's not a real good list of the top rock videos of all time, Rod. Top rock videos of all time. And there were some glaring omissions, I thought, on there. And so we're going to kind of roll through our top 5 favorites of all time today.
Okay. I thought the list wasn't bad. We can tear it apart a little bit. We covered it on the air briefly. Let me knock out this golf tournament information while we still have like 3 people that are watching and listening to this. But we just announced the golf tournament, and we do this every year, and I've been doing it every year. We work with a group called Texas Adaptive Aquatics, and what they do is they take disabled kids, and they take them out there. They get them out on the water. They get them water skiing. They get them doing activities. It's so awesome. It's an amazing thing to see. It's an amazing thing to be a part of. And unlike a lot of charities out there that are maybe government funded and again, I really never – I go out of my way not to put charities against other charities. But what I will do is I'll put a spotlight on some charities, and I'll tell you why it's a good one. And I can tell you why this is a great one. But one of the things is they don't get any other money from anywhere else. This basically funds their whole summer. So when we do the golf tournament, in the one year that we didn't do the golf tournament, I can't know what the hell was going on, but I mean, it almost closed the place down. So, I mean, it's just, you got to fuel up the boats. They've got the equipment and the stuff, and they've got the infrastructure already there, but we're going to keep them afloat. We're going to get them out on the water again. So Texas Adaptive Aquatics is, again, going to get the money. Our tournament is Wednesday, April 6th. We got a noon shotgun start. We're going to be at Wildcat Golf Club. And it's always awesome. It's always fun. It's a party on a golf course. I mean, you got a couple of guys that are like really, really good and are interested about getting the trophy at the end of the thing. And then the other 95% of the people that are out there just want to go out there and hack and have a good time. I mean, it's beers. There's all kinds of activities. Everywhere you look, there's a tent, and something's going on. It's a party on a golf course. That's all it is.
And you can sign up now through your website.
Yeah, if you go to the buzz.com, go to links and guests, and right there, Rod Ryan Show charity golf tournament. I don't even number these things anymore. I've been doing it for so long. But I need whole sponsors. I need anybody that, wants to put stuff in the auction. If you've got something cool, if you got like a cool Eddie Van Halen picture that sits behind you and you want to get rid of that, we can auction that off. We can bring in some great money for the kids, But yeah, we're always looking for auction items, and we're looking for volunteers to be out there on the course. Not everybody wants to golf. Not everybody has the money to golf. And you and I talk about this all the time. Charities, cash is king. Everybody needs cash. Everybody needs donations. But you know what? Everybody needs sweat equity. Everybody needs volunteers. So this is another one where we need volunteers. We do need a lot of people to help pull this thing off. So all the information is at links and guests.
Wednesday, April the 6th. That means, dude, if I come in, I'd probably have to stay at your house a couple days.
Eesh,
that's a couple of days of me, dude. That's a couple of days of me. Hey, wait a minute. We record on Wednesdays. What the hell?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That happened last time. And I said, dude, I'm going to be no shape. We'll either have to record on Tuesday or record on Thursday. The podcast, I will be in no shape to record this podcast after our golf tournament. I wouldn't even be home yet, would I? Yeah, no. It's 7:30. I'd be home about now.
Okay, well, we'll work that out. Dude, I like it. Wednesday, April the 6th, Swinging the Wrenches. I look forward to hearing more about that the next couple weeks. I'll put a link on our wherever you get this podcast, wherever that might be, YouTube, everywhere else. So, Ron, I've been waiting about 24 hours to get this off my chest.
Oh, boy.
24 hours. Last night. Okay. Been in radio 27 years, maybe something like that now. A long time. It's forever.
Your balls are dragging on the ground.
Yeah, but they're dragging through tens. You know that, right? They're just dragging through tens every day. So people, I quite often people will look at me and they'll go, I had a construction guy here who has listened to me for years, and he wants to do some work on the house and stuff. And he goes, man, I really thought when I'd come here, I'd smell a lot more weed. I'm like, what? Well, because you're on the radio and you're always talking about partying and all this shit. I'm like, really? That's what you get through my voice, is that I'm a pot smoker. I'm like, okay. So throughout my career, the last 27 years, there's always the occasional, I thought you'd have been like a drug guy, or like you've done drugs. Or I've never done any drugs. I've smoked weed twice in my entire life, right?
I don't remember you smoking weed ever.
No, I've done it twice. And it was in Amsterdam. So, I kind of don't really count that one. That's like one in Rome, So anyway, my whole career has been like that. And so I'm talking, I'll just put the question out there. Let me just throw the question out there, then we'll go from there. Rod, if I had to ask you, who has more tattoos, me or my mom? Who has more tattoos, me or my mom? If you're just going to throw a guess out there out of the blue.
I would say you guys are tied.
No, we have a clear winner now.
Your mom has ink.
It ain't me.
Your mom got a tattoo?
Dude, my mom.
Did she really?
She's... I swear to Christ, dude. It was wild. I'm on the phone I'm on the iPad. I'm doing some FaceTime with her last night.
Yeah.
We're talking shop and she's happy. She's got friends and relatives in town and stuff. And they're having a good time. So she's sitting on the couch and she's like, got the iPad and she's like, hold on. Can you see this? So you know how it is when you're trying to show somebody something on your iPhone or on FaceTime, it doesn't always line up the way you want. So she's like, can you see this? And I'm like, Mom, all I can see is like your belly button on your shirt, on your shirt. I go, keep going. What are you trying to show me? She goes, and so she goes down around her leg and she's got shorts on. I go, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh shit, she must have fallen and busted her leg or something. Right. I'm waiting to see a boot. Like, look what I did, And I'm like, oh no, fuck. What do we, shit. So I'm thinking, I still can't see anything. She gets all the way down to her ankle and there's a tattoo. It's small.
Can I guess?
Oh, I just said it. Shit.
Damn it. I was going to say butterfly. I was going to say butterfly. I would have gone butterfly, flower, bird, heart.
Yeah. Heart. Yeah. She's got a heart tattoo on her. I think it looked like it was on the inside of her ankle. And it's weird because, and this is where it gets real fun, is when I was young, I'm probably 13, 14, kind of cruising into that teenage years where it really counts. She goes, I really don't care what you do. Don't ever get a tattoo. I remember that conversation vividly. And then, what's weird, Rod? That's like the one thing I never, I listened to my mom for that one thing. Everything else she told me.
Yeah, you didn't listen to anything else she had to say, but that's the one thing you took to heart and you said, okay, I'm going to live by that one thing. And then what was it? Did you know this was coming on? Was it a group of golden girls that all went out and got a tattoo or something?
Kind of, actually. So she's kind of thrown. There's always been conversations. Like there's been a couple times when she's been in New Orleans, and we'll be out having beers or something at a bar or something, playing the jukebox, which she loves music, and it'll kind of come up once in a while. It's kind of been tossed into the breeze a few times along the last few years, right? And I said, well, Mom, if you ever do it, I said, I know some guys down here in New Orleans that do some great work and they'll be great for you and stuff like that. And she's like, yeah. And then the conversation went away. And then she said, so she's been thinking about it. And her neighbor, who she goes out and does a lot of activities with, has been talking about it for years too. So it was my mom's neighbor's birthday. She did some research. Apparently some neighbor down the street actually has a tattoo shop. Talked to them, asked all about it, did all her homework on a tattoo, figured the whole thing out. Is it safe? All the modern, she's thinking back prison tattoos with an old feather quill and some ink.
Right.
She had no idea that it's so, hygienic and stuff. Now she's like, yeah. So me and Brenda went down and went in, and her neighbor got like a huge, like, what was it? Butterfly, I think. Like you picked one of them. I think butterfly or bird on the top of her foot, like her whole top of her foot. Like, that's got to be painful.
Damn.
So my mom's like, yeah, I'm sitting in the chair, and the young man was very nice. He's got tattoos on his face, and he's got the gauges in his ears. And I'm like, this is the weirdest conversation I've ever had.
Spitball, give me, how old's your mom so people know?
71.
71. So
she's first tattoo at 71.
My mom was about that age when she was she was asking me about it.
Yeah.
Because I have tattoos. And I would tell her the same thing, well, New Orleans would be the place to do it, blah, blah, blah. But I've got a cross on my one arm, and it's got fleur-de-lis on the tips of the cross. And a friend of mine drew it. It means a lot to me. It's an original piece. Our buddy Dan drew this for me, who's no longer with us. So it took on a whole new meaning. Sure. And the way that he drew the fleur-de-lis on my mom liked it. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't want me to get tattoos either. But she kind of liked it, and she loves fleur-de-lis. She loves New Orleans. And I told her, and I said, well, why don't you get just the fleur-de-lis tattoo? Oh, no, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. She's like, could I do that?
What the hell you want, man?
And I said, why not? She goes, well, what are people going to think, an old lady going to get a tattoo? And I said, here's why you can do it. Because my sister doesn't have any either. And I said, listen, we're always going to be in the same tribe. Okay. Tribal tattoos, they're not just bad early 90s decisions. They are a real thing, tribal tattoos, and tribes would get tattoos. That would be the mark of that tribe. And that's how they would recognize different tribes. So I told my mom, I'm like, you can get that. You're in my tribe. You can have that. It's not, mine isn't a tribal tattoo, but I'm just saying you don't want somebody getting the same tattoo as you. You don't want, I never picked anything off the wall. I've always had everything drawn up. But I said, Mom, now you can have that though. And she really, I'm telling you, if I would have pressed it a little more, I think I could have gotten her down there. She came really close to doing it.
Yeah. And my mom's like walking around. She's like, yeah, I can't scratch it. I can't wash it. I'm like, the whole thing, man. And she's going on. And I'm like, this is the craziest conversation. Like, this is so backwards.
What did she say about the pain?
She said it wasn't like, it wasn't bad. I mean, the inside of your ankle, that's a pretty sensitive area. I said, she said, nah, it's just kind of uncomfortable for a little while. It didn't take long. It's not a very big tattoo. She said, but it was, and I said, okay, well, I said, what's your next one? Because I've always been told once you get one,
it is.
I said, you going for a full sleeve next weekend? What's up? And she's like, nah. She's like, I probably won't do it again. And I'm like, okay, we'll see.
I think it's awesome. I think it's absolutely awesome. I don't know a whole lot of people that went out and got one and never wanted any more.
Yeah. I think
maybe your mom is one and done. I don't know, but most people do want more. It'll be interesting to see if she does want some more. I can see her piecing out after the one just for the experience.
Yeah. Because it's weird because, when I was a kid, think about the time period. You're looking at early 80s. Okay. When this conversation between me and her happened, she said, I do anything you want. Just don't get no tattoos. Well, my grandfather had like big anchor tattoos on the forearms. And, back in the 50s and 60s and early 70s, a tattoo meant, well, that guy's got to be a criminal or some sort of derelict. It's not like it is today where everyone's got a tattoo, basically, except for apparently me. My mom has a tattoo. I was walking around last night. I go, dude, my mom's got a tattoo. I go to my kid. I go, hey, guess what grandma did? What? She's got a tattoo. He's like, she got ink? I'm like, yeah, grandma's got a tattoo.
That's pretty badass.
I was like, holy shit, this is the weirdest day ever, man.
You never, ever wanted to get one? There was never, I mean, I get it. When somebody says, well, I don't like anything that much. There's not that one thing. I kind of understand that, but that's just people saying, well, it doesn't always mean, the tattoo that you get doesn't have to be the most important, most significant thing you've ever had come into your life.
Right.
Sometimes it can be something a little less than that, and then it morphs into something else. But you've never even toyed with the idea of getting one?
I've thought about. I think we were out one night. We went down to our buddy Ty, who does tattoos here in New Orleans years ago. And we were at his shop, and I was sitting in the chair, and I was like going over it. And Ty's like, "What do you want? I'll draw it up." And I'm like, and I was sitting right there thinking about it, and I was like, I'm drunk. Let's not do it that way. You know what I mean? Like, I want to put some thought into it. And I'm very like, I'm afraid that it would I would get something that would be shitty. And I get it. Your tattoo is only important to you. At the end of the day, it's what you want to get. But I'm afraid I would get something that was dumb and people pick on it, or I'd look at it in a year and go, what the fuck did I do? You know what I mean? Like, I have too many of those sort of regret things going on, whereas it should be like, fuck yeah, I'm getting one. You know, I've thought about different things, you know, but I've never even got in the car to drive down to a tattoo shop I've never got that far, you know? I don't know.
I'm like, I can't explain it. It just, it comes in waves. And sometimes it's just, I follow some tattoo places on Instagram or whatever. For me, it comes down to, I just didn't have a lot of time to work on stuff, or, you know, I mean, you got to sit there. It really is. It's just, you're in the chair. If you're getting a piece done, or like me, I want to finish off, a sleeve and do all of that. It's hours. And I just don't sit around for hours and do anything other than the stuff that I do now. So carving out, for the same reason that you don't sit down and watch, a 3-hour movie, or I don't watch a 3-hour movie. I don't sit in a tattoo chair for 3 hours. I don't really have the time, but man, there's just something right now. And I think maybe sometimes it's getting into the spring too. You feel like, okay, man, I'm going to get my arm, done. I want to get it finished up. And I have that right now. Even before I knew you were going to bring this up today on the show, you just have that thing where it's like, fuck, man, I need some more ink. I want some ink, man. It really is an addictive thing. And it's not replacing anything. I know guys that have like gotten off of drugs and then boom, tattooed their whole bodies up. Everyone's always replacing some obsession with another obsession. The tattoo was never an obsession for me, that it was taking the place of something else, but who knows? You're not supposed to be psychoanalyzing yourself. So, but I do want more. I definitely want more.
It's weird. And the reason I never got a tattoo had nothing to do with my mom saying that. I just never wanted one. I wasn't like, oh my God, my mom said, don't do this, I better not. Nah, it wasn't. I never, all the years of all the bands and all the rock and roll and all the crazy shit, I'm around tattoos all the time. I look at them. I appreciate the artwork. I'm like, dude, that's a cool tattoo. Like I will look at them and stare at them. And then I'm like the creepy guy staring at somebody's arm. I like tattoos. I've never wanted one. Although it's weird now, because apparently being a skinny white dude is hot right now with a lot of tattoos. I mean, Machine Gun Kelly, Travis Barker. I'm like, let's go. Let's tat it up, Jason. My wife's
you got the framework right there for it. And you got the alabaster skin. So all we need to do is just load it up with some ink. And then I don't know. I mean,
bony, ugly dudes getting tattoos. Me and Pete Davidson going to go get some more ink. I mean, what the hell? And it seems to be working. But you're always going to struggle though. I mean, and I think everybody that has tattoos, they have this, you have this idea of what you want to do. I mean, one of the last ones that I got was when I got the 3 symbols on my arm, and I got buffalo, and I got a fleur-de-lis that represents my time in New Orleans. And then I got, it was big for me. There's a lot of dudes that, over here where I live, there's a lot of dudes with Texas tattoos. Yeah. I pretty confident that is the state. That is the most tattooed state. I'm pretty confident. I haven't been all over the place, but there's just some kind of a weird Texas pride thing that supersedes everything else that I've ever seen. And I didn't want to just move here and go and run and get, Texas tattooed on my arm. I'm like, well, that's not what I'm about. I'm not from here. This is not my place yet. And it really took me going through a couple of storms. And you know what that's like, you start to really feel like you're a part of the community, and then doing the things that I've done. And, and then my kid is a Texan. It's weird. So I felt like it was on brand for me. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for this now. But I had to be here 15 years before I even thought about getting something that resembled Texas. But that's the thing, man. It means something. You didn't just go get it because, hey, I moved to Texas, better get a Texas thing. I bet Hawaii's probably last, because it just looks like a splotch of jizz that you got tattooed.
I have seen a lot of jizzy, though, Hawaii tattoos, though. Really? I bet you Hawaii is up there. I bet you Hawaii is way up there.
Weird as shit, man. Very, very strange. I don't know. Will I ever get one? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. My wife has never said anything about like, you get a tattoo, kick your ass. I'm like, Pete Davidson, look at him. He's hitting Kim. Pete Davidson.
When I got this, the stuff on, when I'm talking about, I got a symbol of Buffalo, that, you know, my time in New York, my time in New Orleans, and my time in Texas. I got that on the underbelly of my forearm. That's there's no covering that up with a short sleeve shirt. There was always that thing like, hey, you know, you can still be a banker as long as it's, you know, from the sleeve up and then nobody can see it. And I remember going to my wife and saying, hey, I'm thinking about getting a tattoo like on my, you know, my lower arm. And she goes, what are you asking me for? And I said, well, I thought I need to probably throw that by you. I mean, it's no longer, you know, I mean, a short sleeve shirt is no longer going to be covering it, even though my other stuff was poking through. But there was something weird about getting my forearm done, or I don't even, what do you call that area? But
yeah, the underside of your forearm. Yeah.
The underside of my forearm. It was weird getting a tattoo there. It's like, whoa, there's no hiding it. There's zero. Not that I want to. I don't have that. I'm not in that line of work that I need to. But there was just something different about getting it there. And now people are getting them on their necks and they're getting them on their faces, for crying out loud. And
that's wild.
I'm worried about my arm, and you got chicks doing it on their faces and dudes doing it on their faces. The face tattoo thing, I really do think that is the tramp stamp of this last 5 years.
It's a little too much for me. The neck, the face, you're starting to get in a weird world there, man. It just feels odd to me. But hey, you know what? You do you. It's all good. No judgment for me. It's just not my thing. It's funny because we're talking like a couple of old fucking dudes right now, because you're all sitting there all freaking out about tattoos on your arm. 2 years ago, my kid would have been in 5th grade, right? His teacher has got a Red Hot Chili Peppers right on his wrist. That's the Chili Peppers symbol, you know, the circle or whatever the hell it is, the Red Hot Chili Peppers logo.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's kind of like a star.
Yeah. He's got
I don't know what you call that thing. Yeah.
On the inside of his wrist where you check your pulse, right? He's got that. No big deal. He's a teacher teaching 5th graders. My son goes, whoa, cool. My teacher's awesome. Why? He's got a Chili Peppers tattoo on his wrist. I'm like, but see what I mean? Like, things have changed. It's not a big deal anymore. You know, it's cool. It's accepted. You see a tattoo, it's like, okay, cool. That's awesome. Where'd you get that? You know, I don't think it's as big a deal as it used to be.
It's the Star of Affinity.
That makes more sense. That sounds nicer.
It almost looks like a medic. It almost looks like a medical. That like? Yeah, because it looks a little similar to that. As long as we're talking about the right one.
Yeah. So anyway, like the tattoo thing, like you're worried about it, but yet I got a guy teaching 5th grade kids. He's got a Red Hot Chili Peppers star tattoo on his wrist. No big deal anymore, man. It just doesn't matter. He's a school teacher. It's all good.
When I worked at Hooters, girls had to cover them up.
Yeah.
You couldn't have tattoos working at Hooters. Is there a girl at Hooters that doesn't have tattoos right now? You had to wear like a bandage over it. You know, like the girls had them on their legs. You had a big bandage, and then you put your, whatever those silly tights are that they wear, you had to cover them up. All the girls had to cover up their tramp stamps, everything.
Yeah, there's some girls spend a lot of time covering up shit. I mean, now you look at it, you're like, what the hell were we thinking back then, man? It doesn't matter. So I was out over the weekend, Rod. Tons of Mardi Gras parades. Weekend number 1, parades up and down St. Charles Avenue. It's the opening weekend. It's still great. The weather was awesome, and saw some tattoos, just to make that clear. But then we had some parades going. Dude, I'm telling you, you've been to Mardi Gras a million times. You've been where it's the family part of it, where it's the parades and it's awesome. It was so great this past weekend because it's the first. We skipped Mardi Gras last year in New Orleans because of COVID. So it's been literally almost like 2 years since Mardi Gras happened.
Yeah.
So the last couple of weeks, everyone's kind of like, how's it going to be? Is it going to be weird? Is it going to be odd? Are people going to be freaked out? Is it, no one kind of knew, but everyone's like got this, I can't wait to blow up. You know how like when your favorite band is playing your favorite song and they hit into the heavy part, you just go ape shit at a concert?
Yes.
Everyone's kind of like right before that song starts, they're all geeked up, right? You're just like, oh shit. Dude, it was wild. It was so great. And I mean wild in a good way. It was like peace, love, and happiness. It was cool. Now, I can't speak for everybody from Mardi Gras. I'm just saying in the area I was on St. Charles Avenue, and there's a lot of people out. Hey, how you been? You see people they haven't seen in a couple of years, because a lot of times with Mardi Gras, you see these people only on the parade route. It's the only time you see them all year, because it's just where you go.
Because
So it's
people
like-
party in the same spot every year. They just go, they set up, and it's just a tradition. People, they like where they go and where they set up. And yeah, you'll see it's kind of like season ticket holders when you just see the same people at the games and you don't see them. You don't know anything about them outside of the season, but then you just see the same people that party near you. That's what Mardi Gras is like. I mean, people have had some of those spots. I mean, we have a friend, for crying out loud, Whitey has been on this street corner. She overtook this bus depot or this bus stand like 29 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's 29 years, maybe next year will be 30, that she has claimed the same spot for a parade for one day.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's what you do, man. And the parades were great. And it was awesome. And it was probably one of the nicest, most fun, relaxed first weekends I've ever been part of. It was so great that I'm so glad that everyone kind of was like, oh, okay, Mardi Gras is back. And it's great. You know, you just saw the smile and you felt like New Orleans had this little bit of a weight lifted off its shoulders. You know what I mean? We'll see how this weekend goes, because this is when all the tourists from around the world show up. That's usually when the wheels fall off the bus, when the fucking, it gets a little nuts.
I'll be a tourist this weekend. I'll be there. I was down in Galveston last weekend. Three Doors Down played, and it's completely different, but it's Mardi Gras. It's on the Strand. It's Galveston. It was packed when I got up on stage, which was a whole nother thing. I was going to talk about it maybe later. These fucking guys that work for these bands, man, I get it. They're great. They're probably great at what they do. And, you know, hey, I'm here. I work for the band. I do exactly what the band tells me. It's like, bro, what you do, you're not holding the codes, man. Okay? Just give me a microphone and I'm going to say, hi, I'm the dumb radio guy. I'm going to hit sponsor, sponsor, sponsor. And then I'm going to bring on the band. That's it, bro. That's all I want to do. Well, you know, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And I said, well, let's not call. You've been in this situation before. It's like, fuck. Just when you think that you're a big radio star, and then you go up there and you're just asking where the microphone is to make an announcement, and you feel like you have fucking disrupted the universe. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's a fucking mess. Introducing bands, it's not even worth it going back there with some of those stage managers. They're so overblown on their job. It's like, dude, relax a little bit. You might live longer doing what you do. Anyway.
It's a shit show backstage. It always is, man. It's like you get back there and I always feel like I'm in the way. I don't want to disrupt their flow because I know they got a job to do and they're doing it every city. It's the same shit every city. And I get it. So I'm always like, hey man, I'm the dumb DJ. I got to go out there for about maybe 30 seconds, 45. Right. I said, I will gracefully go out there. Anything you want me to say, anything you don't want me to say. Cool. Here's what I'm going to say. And I'll get the fuck out of here. That's it. That's how I've approached it from day one. And probably depending on the venue, 7 out of 10 times it goes pretty well. But there's always the 3 that's just, it's like, and you just look at them going, I don't give a fuck about your band 99% of the times anymore either. I don't care. I want to be back with my friends.
This guy is like, listen, we don't do intros. We're not doing that. And I go, and I don't lose my shit anymore. I don't. I used to. I don't lose my shit anymore. I'm like, bro, let's not call it an intro. Okay. I'm going to go out there, hit a couple sponsors and say the band's coming up.
Yep.
He said, that's an intro. I said, okay, but it's more of they're coming up though. Because what happened over the years, we used to bring bands on. We used to go up on stage. Hey, man, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. I'm the dumb radio guy. You know, you got to give the old make some noise.
Come on, motherfucker.
You got to do all of that. And then you say, okay, here we go. And then boom, here's the fucking band. Well, all bands came out with this track that they wanted to play. And they had some sort of their own built-in intro music. So it really changed. And now 9 out of 10 times I'm up on stage in front of a band, I use the verbiage and the band is coming up soon. So get yourself ready. Thanks for coming. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Then usually some track hits and then they want to come out to how they want to come out, which is okay. I don't care. I really don't sweat that. It's, you know, there's very few true intros. It's kind of fun now bringing on a band and then walking off the stage as they're walking on the stage, giving a high five. That's pretty cool. We used to do that all the time. And now they got intro music.
Yeah.
So I get back there, 3 doors down, fucking crazy guy. And again, I'm not even MFing him. I'm just saying he's doing his job, but he's overdoing his job.
Right.
And he's like, well, we don't do it. I go, okay, bro. That's no big deal, man. He's like, well, with COVID, I can't have you using those mics. And I said, well, there's the sound guy right there. He's running the sound. I go, I bet you we could plug in a mic to that board and he could just plug it in and pot something up and I could probably be talking. He goes, well, if you can do it in 5 minutes. Okay. We don't do this anymore. We do not do this anymore. Okay. We don't do intros. I'm just trying to do my job. I go, no, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Fucking making it great.
But let me see if I can get a microphone plugged in. And then you're giving me 5? Okay. Let me get these guys moving on this. So now he actually he looks down like he's looking at his watch. I'm like, you motherfucker. But I don't get mad anymore. No. If I don't go out there, my day's not ruined. I'm going to be partying my ass off at Mardi Gras. Yeah. I don't care. I'm not going to be mad at the band. I'm not mad at 3 Doors Down. The guy's a little bit overblown, that guy in the back, but I don't care anymore. Maybe years ago, I would have fought it. I would have thought it was a big deal. So there's the local guys, and they want me to say the sponsors, and they want me to do that. I'm like, guys, you heard the man. You got 5 minutes. I got to get a mic plugged in. You want to go wireless, Rod? I go, dude, give me a mic.
Okay, shit.
Don't even ask me any more questions. They're like, well, we can get you something wireless. Get me a microphone, okay? If it's corded or not, let's do this, okay? But get it done in 5 minutes, okay? Because I really want to show this guy that we can do it.
Jeez.
So they're scrambling, and they got it done. They were the local guys. They said 3 Doors Down was tough to work with. And again, not MFing the band. I told you last week, I talked to Brad, the lead singer. Yeah. Could have been cooler. The nicest guy on the planet. I don't know what he's like 10 minutes before he goes on stage. He might be back there screaming his head off. No fucking radio guys on stage. I don't think so. I don't think so. But their guy is being their guy. And, they get off on not being friends with anyone. They think that's cool. When somebody is like a tour manager or something, they have to prove their worth all the time with the bands. And it's not all of them. It's a bunch of them though. It's just, they got such a hard on for that job that they just want to show like, no, this is how we do it.
Yeah.
But I have found out, as I may be getting a little bit older, it's like how I don't do any road rage shit anymore because you can't. It's too scary out there. The confrontation, I told you that I got maybe about a couple months ago, we were doing a podcast and I said some guy kind of rolled past me and he did something and I gave him a thumbs down.
Thumbs down. Yeah, no, that's the best thing ever.
I gave him a thumbs down. I'm like, you know what, Booth, you stink. Didn't even think of giving guy the finger. I don't even know that I would do that now. In the time that I told you that silly story where I gave somebody a thumbs down on the road, I don't even think I would do that. I wouldn't want it misinterpreted as something else. It's too scary right now with road rage. But a little bit of kindness, staying calm. It's a book. It's a page out of Jason Ginty's book. Jason always stays calm. I never do.
Sometimes.
And we got it done. I was able to bring on 3 Doors Down and hit the sponsors on the Corona Light stage. And thanks to Yagas and welcome to Galveston. So great to see you. And
the worst part about that whole stage bullshit is the fact that it's always been agreed upon beforehand. Like 80% of the time, it's like, okay, tonight you're gonna go over there. You got to talk to Rick. He's the guy backstage, and then Rick's going to introduce you to the manager. And then you got to put in the legwork, but normally you got a little chain of command you got to go through. It's not just all of a sudden someone just throws you on stage most of the time, Yeah. There's channels and it's always like, but then there's always that guy, that damn tour manager is going to give you shit. It's like, don't say this, don't say that. The band doesn't like, okay, fuck you. We get it. I'm not going to go out there. You know what it is though, Rod? And this is the thing. And you know this as well as I do. There are hundreds of you and me all over the country. Not all of them are as professional as we happen to be. You know what I mean? They're dealing with some real assholes out there. I'm sure of it. You've probably worked with some along the way. So they've got to kind of protect their thing too. So I get that. You see me coming, they're like, oh, fuck, look at this asshole. I'm like, oh. And that's why I'm so overly friendly, overly like professional. Like, yeah, man, hey, I'm out of your way, bro. Out of your way. I had to introduce, this is fucking going old school. Who's the albino dudes? Johnny Winter, Edgar Winter. Remember those brothers? Dun 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 dun. Frankenstein. That song.
That's the Edgar Winter group, but I think Johnny Winter is the albino.
Johnny. So I had to introduce him at the House of Blues in New Orleans one time. So I'm like, and he was 200 years old then, and they go, and they were very cool. Those guys were great. They're like, look, you're gonna go up there. You're gonna say a few things. Welcome. Say, hey, Johnny Winter's coming up soon. Thank Miller Lite or whoever the fuck it was, and the sponsors and all the same old shit. All right. I go walking up to the, usually go up to the center stage mic. They didn't tell me which one to go to. So I naturally just go towards the center one. So I'm walking up there to where Johnny Winter's going to be singing, right? And I get almost to the microphone and fucking like three guys tackle me, basically, grab me by the back of my shirt.
Mike, you were heading to the wrong microphone.
I was going to the wrong mic because he's old and they've got that microphone. They were telling me afterwards, they apologized. Said, sorry about that, dude. We should have told you not to use that one. But Johnny basically can barely whisper. So we've got that microphone so fucking jacked. If you'd have blinked heavy by it, you'd have blown the roof right off of this place. I go, oh shit. Because they've got it like so processed and just so overdone because he just, right. I go, oh, thank God. Because I would have went up there and just fucking ripped the place right off of this, ripped the roof right off the place. So yeah, introducing bands, man, people are always like, that's so cool. I'm like, sometimes
it's just not very glamorous back there.
There's no glamour.
I mean, there's been times that it's been great. There's been times that it's been awesome, but it's more of a, it's a nuisance to everybody that's involved with backstage. Even when it's our show, BuzzFest, we got to get up there. Now, the guys that work the stage managers, they're not specifically with the bands. So usually they're on getting all the bands, and then they got to deal with the individual band, road managers. And I'll tell you what, those guys are cool. I mean, they've been really, really cool. There's been a couple of dicks over the years. But you're right. They're like, okay, how many mics you need? I'm like, hey, if you got two, great. One, we'll do it. Because a lot of times we go up as the show. Right. So there's four of us, and I like to have Tessa have a mic, and then she can introduce the guys. And I go, if you got one, great. If you got two, even better. Okay. How much time do we have? They'll go, how much time do you need? I'll say, we'll be on and off in 60. Just trying to make their job easy.
Yeah.
Trying to make their job easy. But there's always, there's that situation like Three Doors Down where I show up. And I'm at a point which is good. I don't always have to do this on my own. There were some people there that were helping. Okay. There were people there that were really propping me up to like, okay, no, this is Rod Ryan. We got to really get this guy up on stage. So none of that mattered to Three Doors Down guy, but you walk up and you just say, hey man, I'm here to introduce the band. Oh, nobody told me. No, it's like you killed the power on the show.
Yeah.
And then you just told them they were not going to get paid or something. That's the alarm that's going off in the guy's head that you're telling him that you want to go up on stage before they go on.
It's the worst because then, like, I had some guys.
You're like, fuck, didn't anybody arrange this? Why am I here? Didn't anybody do this? It's like, do you think I just came in here by myself? You think I was just out tonight and I pulled over at the club and I said, you know what? What time you think they're going on? I'm just going to jump on stage beforehand. Is that what they're thinking? That I wasn't sent there by somebody? I just do this on my own. I just float around the city of Houston and just try to introduce bands on stage.
Yeah, that's what you do. You told me.
Somebody sends us. We never do that on our own.
No, we couldn't get up there if we wanted to. They wouldn't let our dumbasses up there.
Correct.
I forget who I had to introduce one time. I go backstage and I'm like, hi, I'm Jason. I'm from the radio station. I'm here to introduce the band. And the roadies were fucking great. They're like, they look at each other like, well, thank God you're here, man. And they look out at the crowd. They go, no one's here to see our shitty band. They're all here for you, right? They were fucking giving me shit. They were breaking balls. They were so cool, man. They're like, wow, thank God. We were worried about you, man. We weren't sure you're going to make it. I'm like, all right, fuck you, assholes.
We thought we were going to do a whole set here and nobody was going to know who we are. Thank God we got somebody here to tell everybody who's coming up.
Thank God, dude. I had to, this is when I was working at a different classic rock station years ago. Arlo Guthrie, he's this famous folk singer, right? So my boss goes, hey, you got to go over to the House of Blues and introduce Arlo Guthrie. I'm like, why do I have to fucking do that? So I did. I said, okay, cool. So they go, okay. And I don't know shit about this guy, but it's all good. I'm like, I'll be professional. I'll go introduce Arlo fucking Guthrie, folk singer. Okay. Go backstage. Oh, Arlo wants to meet you before you introduce him. I go, all right. That sounds great.
Fuck, he's going to quiz me. Damn it. I know shit about this guy.
I don't know, dick. And I can't be Googling because we didn't have phones back then.
Go to the bass player on my third album. Go.
Didn't know he had 3 albums. So there you go. So I go up there and they go knock on the door. I knock on the door. Some girl opens the door and I'm like, well, that's weird because Arlo's kind of old. Okay. All right. All good. She's like, hey, who are you? And I go, I'm Jason. I'm supposed to introduce, Arlo Guthrie in a couple minutes downstairs. Oh, come on in. Come on in. Now I'm going into the dressing room upstairs at the House of Blues. Enters a girl, a dude probably my age, and Arlo Guthrie. It's his daughter and his son who tour with him and they play instruments and he plays with them, right? And Arlo's like, hey, man, how you doing? Great. Super cool guy. Awesome. Great. Whatever. I said, I'm just going to introduce you. I said, anything you want me to say, not say? He goes, nah, man, you look cool, man. Do your thing. Just, make it quick and I'll come out. I'm like, sweet. Awesome. That's great. Sit down, man. Hang out for a little while. We're just chilling on here. I'm like, I'm chilling with Arlo Guthrie, man. Dude, I was in there half an hour. You know what they were doing? Chilling. Let me tell you how cool backstage is. People always ask, how cool is it backstage all the time? Watching Jeopardy, bro. We're fucking watching Jeopardy. Me, nice. Arlo Guthrie and his kids are sitting around watching Jeopardy. It was the longest half hour of my life. I was so uncomfortable. I didn't know what to do. And they're talking about, family shit. And I'm like, you know what? I liken it to being the first time as a new boyfriend being invited over to the girlfriend's parents' house and sitting at the dinner table. It was that kind of uncomfortable. Like I didn't know what to do with my hands. I just felt really fucking weird. Nobody's drinking. Nothing happening. They're in their living room. I couldn't wait to get out of there, dude.
What is the best intro you got to do?
Wow. Fuck, that's good. Yeah. That's a tough one, man. I've been on stage obviously a lot over the years. It's weird. We were talking about Green Day last week. I introduced Green Day. And when it's the old coming up in a minute, Green Day. The Killers was cool because they had just broke with their first single. Somebody, I don't even fucking know what it was, but their first hit. So
the Killer, somebody told me that's what it was. I couldn't, Jesus Christ. You think I've done this job for a while. So I'm backstage with the Killers and they just broke and they were hot and they were nervous as cats. They were so fucking nervous. They were playing Voodoo that year. And I'm back there and I'm just as nervous as they were going on stage. Cause Voodoo, that's a big festival. It's like Buzz Fest. There's just 10, 15, however many thousands of people. And I'm like, holy fuck, I can't fuck this up. So I'm standing back there next to the Killers and they're fucking wringing their hands and they're fucking dancing around. And I'm like doing the same thing. And I look at them, I go, you guys nervous? And they're like, yeah. And I go, me too. And one of the guys in the band just goes, well, I hope we don't all fuck this up. So there's all those great little moments though. I mean, as much as we're shitting on what a weird fucking thing it is, there are those moments. As far as greatest ever, fuck, I don't know. I have to think about that for a while because there's always been interesting moments like that. What about you? What's the greatest intro ever on stage? I'm still thinking about it. For some reason, and I don't know how we got to do this, but I went with Jessica. I mean, just because I love Jazz Fest so much, I got to introduce the Black Crowes at Jazz Fest.
Oh, that's cool as shit.
On the far stage.
Gentilly stage?
The Gentilly stage. I don't know how I worked that, but I was able to do that. I did some cool stuff with Voodoo Fest. I get to go on stage before Rage Against the Machine.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Tool. I got hit in the nut with a lemon. We don't need to go into it.
Yeah.
The best one, even though the house wasn't quite full yet, but I got to go on before Metallica on their stadium tour.
Holy shit.
I couldn't believe that Metallica was allowing dumb radio guys to go up on stage. And then I was that dumb radio guy that got to go up on stage.
That's pretty fucking cool though, to be able to be up.
Yeah, but it was a stadium. That's what made it different. You know, we've done like some of these outdoor big festivals and stuff, but going on stage, being on Metallica's stage was freaky. And the show was, I think it was Avenged Sevenfold. I can't remember who opened. Regardless, I didn't bring on Metallica, and it wasn't, and they didn't even start their music. It really was coming up in a few moments. It's going to be Metallica, but I got to go on stage. Before I went on stage, I was standing with this dude and we just started talking, and he told me he was Mixmaster Mike. He's the Beastie Boys DJ. He was doing stuff in between, and I'm hanging out with Mixmaster Mike, who's a flipping legend.
Wow.
And he even said, he goes, "This is pretty cool, man. You get to go out there." And I said, "Fuck this, dude. You're out on tour with Metallica?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm playing in between the sets." It was Volbeat. It was Volbeat that opened.
Okay.
And Mixmaster Mike got to do some stuff in between. And but as cool as his gig was, he said to me, he's like, "Wow, that's really cool. You get to go on stage before Metallica." I said, "Yeah, this is probably the biggest one ever." And yeah, it's the biggest one ever.
You know,
The stadium.
Thinking about, you know, they weren't always the biggest bands I got to introduce, but it was what happened on stage, which was always the best memorable moment. I got to go on the Acura stage at Jazz Fest, which is the biggest one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I introduced, you know, Cowboy Mouth, who's huge here in New Orleans. Fred, we've known Fred for 100 years, and they play all of Texas and stuff. So I got to introduce them. I think it was them and then the closing band. So Acura, you know, that stage, that's a shit ton of people, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. And I've been on the Acura stage a couple times, but usually it's like in the morning when nobody's there, but it's cool. I'm up there and it's just a sea of humanity over the whole horse track area where Jazz Fest in New Orleans takes place. And I remember I told myself, go in slow motion in your head, breathe, drink, and look.
Remember this moment.
Because you don't get on stages like that, right? It just doesn't happen. And I remember going out there and I said something and it was great. And then I turn around and there's Fred. He starts banging on the drum. So I actually introduced the band and it was fucking great.
So much cooler when you get to intro, when you really get to do a true intro, and then they start playing right after you say their name and you're like, "Come on." And then boom, they hit the music. That's pretty great. That's pretty great. I hope none of this sounds like Jason and I are like complaining about going on stage. We get it, you know, about going on. And it's just, sometimes it's not as glamorous. You know, for me, it's, you know, 30% of a time, it's a little bit of a hassle. You're really putting somebody out, but yeah. Rage Against the Machine, dude. When Rage Against the Machine got back together, go to play Voodoo. It's like, what?
Yeah. That's cool.
It's awesome.
Shit. I mean, yeah, like, but what I think, yeah, we sound like we're fucking pissing and moaning about getting to go backstage and talk to people. That we sound like assholes. I gotta be honest. But any job has its, you know, weirdness. It's not cool moments. It's fucking great as our jobs are. There are those moments where it kind of sucks. You got to deal with assholes. It doesn't matter what you do in life. But you know, the fact that you get to go backstage and do those things, it's never lost on me. If ever I'm backstage and I'm fucking getting elbowed by roadies or anything like that, I'm like, I'm back here. I'm fucking back here. I always appreciate those moments, you know, or at least I try to. Rod, one more thing before we take a quick break. I want to talk one quick thing. And you've seen a lot of Mardi Gras parades, right? Down St. Charles Avenue and stuff in New Orleans.
Millions.
Okay. And it always starts off pretty mellow. You know, you get like the electricity truck, the electric company truck goes by. They're checking to see if any tree branches are too low for the floats. And then you get like those weird little cars and some dudes on motorcycles. And then you got the horses. There's always those guys with the horses, and they're kind of like doing like they're trotting sideways, and they're like coming up to the kids and they're handing out like roses and beads. There's these people around New Orleans got horses, and they train them to go in these parades.
Right.
cowboy hats and everything. And then the best part is they always got the guy on the wheelbarrow with a shovel to pick up all the shit. So the band still got to step in it.
That's the worst.
He's got the shittiest job. Sorry. And so I'm watching, and you hear what's great is you can hear the horses coming down the street because their hoofs are clopping and clanking on the street. So I'm just, you're chilling, you're getting warmed up. First parade's going by, and all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, this is gasp for like a fucking solid block up and down St. Charles Avenue, and it gets real quiet. And you start hearing people are just going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Dude, one of the horses, and it's not funny, it kind of is, one of the horses wiped out. Fucking
a horse wiped out?
Exactly, my
usually
thought.
Pretty sure-footed.
Dude, like Bambi on ice, dude. His fucking front legs went out on the street, and it was down like I don't know shit about horses, but apparently they got knees. I don't know. It's like kind of down on its knees or whatever. And I look, the fucking horse wipes out. Everyone's like, oh shit. If that thing like busted a leg, they're gonna put it down. Put it down right there in the street in front of all the kids. Like the scene in Napoleon Dynamite where the guy shoots the cow as the school bus goes by. That's what I kept thinking. Well, the horse is like, oh, fuck. And it kind of like moves itself around and it gets back up on its feet and it clippity-clop. It just took off. I'm like, I saw a horse.
Was it doing a move or did it actually fall?
They prance a little bit and they kind of fucking go sideways.
I think it's called dressage.
I don't know what, dude, it's a fucking horse. It's going to be glue or dog food soon. I thought they were going to have to put that fucker down. Can you imagine? Like, what do you do? So then we had this whole, we missed the rest of the parade because we were talking about what the hell do you do in that situation if the horse snaps a leg right there? Do you bring in a crane or something and bring that thing out?
You got to get a freaking, you have to get a trailer.
Jesus Christ. But dude, I saw a horse wipe out. I didn't think they did that.
Talk to me about the pussyfooters. Who do you know? How do I get in?
Yeah, well, wait till you see. Pussyfooters are one of many female dance troupes now, so you're good. There's a lot of interesting things now. The things have changed.
Are we going to see the pussyfoot? Are we going to see the pussyfooters? Are we going to see them on Sunday?
Yeah, they'll be during Bacchus Sunday. Yeah, the pussyfooters. It's a female dance group, and they.
That's my favorite right there. That's my jam. You're talking about horses wiping out. I'm talking about the pussyfooters.
Yeah, well, you're in for a treat because there's a lot more troops just like that. A lot of dancing clubs have gotten together, man. Once someone has a good idea, it spreads like wildfire. So you're in for a treat. Sunday's going to be wild, dude, on the Avenue. Okay. We're going to have a blast. We're going to have a great freaking time.
All right, let's take a short break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about our top 5 favorite rock videos. We'll talk about this list that came out recently. It sounds like Jason didn't think it was good. I didn't think it was bad. But let me break down and talk about our one and only sponsor here. We have one sponsor, one singular sponsor.
That's pretty good.
And they're late on their payments. New Orleans. We're talking a lot about going to New Orleans, Mardi Gras time. If you're going anytime to New Orleans, book the Pirates of the Quarter walking tour. Okay. It's fun. Loaded with info. There's no other tour like it in the French Quarter. There are other tours. These guys have facts and they're dropping facts, but they're making it fun. There's pub crawls you can do. You can incorporate that into your tour. You're taking your drinks with you. If you're worried about socially distance, you're outside. And then you've got these guys that are telling you, these pirates that are telling you real tales of what pirates did in the Quarter. Incredible stories, real stories. It's history. You're not going to be quizzed on it afterwards, but you'll be amazed at like the stuff that you retain because it's so when something's put to you so interesting, you just tend to absorb it a little bit better. I wish my teachers would have taught like these pirates. The tour is going to really surprise you. There's much more to New Orleans than just Bourbon Street and partying your ass off. Take a little time to discover the pirate history of New Orleans. Details, piratesofthequarter.com and all the socials at Pirates of the Quarter. A list came out, Classic Rock Magazine, apparently now going by Louder Sound. They're ditching the Classic Rock moniker. They came out with their best rock music videos of all time. I kind of went out of my way to compliment. I thought they did a pretty good job on this list. I thought they did a decent job. I found myself struggling, as I do with all of our lists. What's the best video? Well, okay, Is it my favorite though? We always go favorite videos, but then videos meant something to me at different times of my life.
Right.
You know, I don't know how hot those girls are in the ZZ Top video right now, but back when I was a kid, those were the hottest girls I had ever seen in my life. Now you look at it, it's a little silly. You know, they're a product of their time. But I remember what it did to little Rodney, and it felt pretty good. So am I taking that into consideration when I'm thinking about my favorite videos of all time? Because even the production value on older videos isn't what they are today. Right. So, I mean, you got to look at a video like Robert Palmer, you know, and Addicted to Love. It's such an iconic video. Iconic. The imagery, you immediately know a time frame of which it came from. You don't have to have the volume on. You just look at it and it just reeks of, you know, late 80s. And it's an important video, but it's not personally one of my favorites. So what were you looking at when you were thinking of these videos? Because I was really all over the place. I mean, Take On Me. Isn't that an amazing video?
It's still one of the best ever.
It's like the concept of it where he's half drawn and he's half live action and he's bouncing back and forth in between the cartoon. I remember my mind was absolutely blown away by that when I was a kid.
Well, even think about that
now. I don't think it holds up, you know, it's like it's like, okay, I've seen it enough. Is it my favorite video? No, but is it great? Yeah.
Think about what they had to do to pull that off in the 80s when it came out. I mean, holy shit, that technology. And
I don't even know, but I know that it had to be a pain in the ass.
And it looks so different than anything else. You know, a lot of videos, you know, you start looking at some of the videos, it's just a bunch of goofballs jumping around, singing their song. Okay. They didn't put a whole lot of thought into it.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's what I always thought of Van Halen's Jump. I never thought that was a great video.
It's a terrible video. Terrible.
But it won all kinds of awards.
I must have been the time.
And David Lee Roth, you know, it was his vision. And number one, I don't like the song. Number two, the video is lame. The video is super lame. And it may have won video of the year, you know?
Terrible video. Terrible.
I'm glad you agree with me, and then that's a terrible video.
You know, looking into it, you know, like November Rain was a great video for its time period. You know, you look at it like
a movie.
Yeah, but you look at it now and you're like, nah, there's some fucking cheese on this bitch, you know? There's a lot of cheese on it. But there's moments where, and I may have it wrong, so correct me if I do, because I haven't sat down and watched the entire November Rain video in quite a few years. Is that the one where the solo is Slash like walking in the dust in the church behind him? And that's November Rain, right? Yeah. And the church is in the background and the wind and all that.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I just went, okay, that's a fucking rock star right there. I mean, that's the move. That you just don't get cooler than Slash in front of the church with leather pants ripping. That's cool.
The only way it got cooler is when he just walked up and he stepped up and he's fucking jamming on top of the grand piano.
Yes.
It's like, okay, it just got cooler.
Right. But you know, the whole like sitting there, you know, I mean, it's a little too on the nose. If you're singing about rain, don't fucking have rain in your video. You know, it's a little on the nose.
You can't not have rain in November Rain. Are you kidding me?
You're right.
During that 25 fucking minutes that it's not going to rain? Come on.
One, okay. But like you go, I got sucked into a Billy Squire video, which I had never seen his videos. That's what killed that fucker's career. The
Rock Me Tonight video.
Oh, Jesus, is that awful?
The Rock Me Tonight video is legendary for being his exit from the music business. And it really shouldn't. I mean, you know, he didn't do anything wrong. The imagery was really bad. And he was getting some bad advice. But Billy Squire is one of those guys that kind of disappeared.
Yeah. Cause he made a shitty video. And it's a shame because the dude had some good songs. I mean, the songs are fine. I mean, not to go crazy here, but like, I think if you punched up the song, Let's Put the X in Sax from Kiss.
Oh, they're so silly. They're so silly.
You might have a problem watching that one all the way through.
It's bad.
It's good. It's barely bad. So I looked at a lot of these videos and I'm like, yeah, I kind of like the same old ones still to this day. I went through a bunch and I'm scrolling through YouTube and I'm burning through all these songs and I'm like, fuck, this was a great one too. Shit, this is a great one too. Do I still like this one? So yeah, the video thing was a little bit more of a challenge because you actually, the songs, the songs, the videos. I'm like, what was this one again? There was a few I was like, I don't remember that video. And then I went and I got myself down a rabbit hole of hell looking at videos. I had to step back from the computer. You want me to go first? I'm going first.
All right, you go first. I went first last week, so go ahead. This will be interesting.
You keep.
Let's see. Are you locked into a time frame?
It looks like it. It really does look like I'm pretty.
I kind of am too because they meant so much to see these videos. And if you caught like a world premiere of a video or when they just started spinning it, like you would wait. MTV used to say, okay, the VJ used to say, okay, here's what's coming up this hour. And they would get you to sit there and wait an hour because your video, and they would probably at the top of the hour, they would say, okay, here's what's coming up later on.
Yep.
And if they said fucking Van Halen Panama, I was going to wait for it. I was going to sit there and wait. Which was so important to see those videos, and you just lost your mind.
Which Panama was just Jump Part 2. They filmed them at the same time, I think, because they're wearing the same fucking clothes. They're just jumping on the stage again. It's terrible.
Yeah, but Panama's the one that I remember because it was being played. They used to play videos when they debuted that day. It was going to play at 12:20, 1:20, 2:20, 3:20. Well, we got out of school at 3:00. And my buddy had MTV. So that was the one video that we ran from school. And we ran in the house and we were sweaty, book bags in his kitchen, go in the living room, turn on the TV, and here comes the biplane. And we caught it, I mean, we ran home to see a video. MTV did that to us.
That's insane. Now you just click, here, there it is, man. No big deal. There's no.
Yeah,
it's too easy
videos.
Today.
It's just there's some things that were cooler back then. There's some things that are cooler now. Man, the excitement of your fucking video coming on TV. And then, it's not lost on Alex, who just turned 33, Alex on the show, because he came into MTV and he would lose his mind because Carson would be doing TRL.
Right.
So when they showed TRL and they showed those clips and they didn't even play full videos. That's when they started cutting them and they were just showing pieces of them. But he said that's where he lost his mind when he saw Korn and Limp Bizkit. And then, God forbid, when they show Blink-182, he had that. So a 33-year-old has it. Anything below that is completely out of this discussion as far as the excitement level. And, go ahead. Go watch Gangnam Style again. That's your video.
What's cool now, though, is like, I like it because I will go search. If there's a song that comes out and I like it, I will go look for the video. And now the videos are just fucking unbelievable. I mean, a lot of the videos are so great. I mean, it's almost like they're almost overdone now at this point. It almost feels movie quality, a lot of them, and I like watching the videos, let me just dive into it. I'll cut right to the chase. Number 5, top 5 favorite rock videos of all time. This one disturbed the shit out of me when it came out. 9 Inch Nails and Closer.
Oh, it's a good one.
You've got the pig. You got the monkey. You got Trent Reznor just hanging from hooks or whatever the hell he was doing. And
it looked like art. It was like art, the song. And then it was such a, I mean, I don't know if you think of this, but it was such a companion to the song.
It's perfect. It was and they used a camera because it's got that yellowy, weird, old style look to it, right? That wasn't an effect. They actually found a camera from 1919. They tuned it up and they filmed it with that. That's why it has that look. That is not a special effect. That's just a really old camera they used to film it. So I remember that just looking different than anything else out at the time. It was so like, I remember people were like talking about, you see the 9 Inch Nails video? No. And I didn't care. And I'm like, whoa, now I see why everyone's talking about this thing. It was disturbing and cool at the same time. And it really put that Trent Reznor's a freak show out there with that video.
It's like you were watching something dirty.
Like I felt like I shouldn't be watching it.
It's kind of dirty. Like you gotta take a bath after it.
Like, am I watching a snuff film? What the hell's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
Number 5. All right, number 4. I liked it when it came out, and then I forgot about it for a lot of years. And then it was like the anniversary of the video coming out, I don't know, recently, or like a year or two ago. And I watched it again, and that was so many years later. And I was like, this is still powerful. This is still great. Pearl Jam and Jeremy at number 4. That video.
It's powerful.
Just, the kid in the classroom and the whole issue with the kid in the classroom and then blowing his head off and all that shit. Didn't want to, spoiler alert, sorry. But, Eddie Vedder's fucking performance in that, like, he is really selling it. You know what I mean? Like, he is on it. It's his performance in that video is ridiculous. Still love that video today.
Is he laying it on a little thick? Is he really feeling the moment? It feels like it though. I don't know.
He's in it. It's like, holy shit. I mean, he wrote the damn song. Usually if you write the lyrics, I guess it hits harder. Number 3. I like it. There's cheese in it. Hot for Teacher, Van Halen. I still like it. I think my favorite part is the whole beginning before the song starts, where fucking Roth is driving the bus and Waldo gets on, and he's all nervous and shit. And he's like, sit down, Waldo. That part's the best part of the video for me. The rest of it's very cool. And at the time,
but the kids that are the younger versions of them, they had to go out and get young kids to dress up like each member of the band. And I thought they were cast brilliantly.
They were perfect. Like the Alex Van Halen kid looked like fucking, oh my God, wait, how'd they do that? That's like a miracle. That's the same guy. It's just a younger version of him. So I don't know if you saw this, but the kid who played, I think it was the kid who played Michael Anthony in the video. He just came out recently and was telling stories about the video shoot. I'm like, oh, where are these kids? Someone should be talking to these kids. What was it like hanging out with Van Halen that day? Or did you get to? So the kid who played Michael Anthony says that he was a huge Van Halen fan. And he's like, he saw the ad come out in LA, like, hey, we need people that look like this band. And he's like, holy shit, I could be Michael Anthony. So he went down there, tried out, got the part, right?
Wow.
And when you film a video, you're just fucking sitting around a lot waiting for cameras and lights to be set up. So and he's a kid, right? He's like, I don't know, 12 or 13 years old.
Yeah,
and he's
they're
nervous.
around that age.
He's nervous as shit. And he's like, well, I love Van Halen. So he went over and knocked on Alex's trailer door. And he knocks on the door and goes, hey man, I'm playing Michael Anthony in the video. I just want to come say hi. You're my favorite band and shit. Alex Van Halen is chugging beers, right? Come on in, kid. Come on in. Hang out.
That's awesome.
Fucking 10 minutes later, Eddie Van Halen comes walking in. Hey, Al. Hey, who's the kid? Oh, he's playing Mike. No way. Hey, kid, you want a beer?
Stop.
Wow. Yes. They're like offering him up beers and shit. And then he said that Eddie Van Halen's just playing in the trailer. I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, those kids got stories, man. I would love to hear more from those kids in that video. Was that 3? Yeah, it was 3. Number 2, I still like this video, man. I still like it because it was really, really different and cool when it came out. And it was a tribute to the silent film era, Smashing Pumpkins and Tonight.
Great video.
Fuck it. And it used to be on all the time. It seems like it was never not on the TV. But every time you'd see, you look over, you're like, that's really cool. And, the moon coming up and spinning and all that shit. And it was just a great video. And number 1, I tried to find a different number 1. I fought myself. I fought YouTube for a little while. I was trying so hard, and I still love Everlong from the Foo Fighters. I love that video. It's the Dave Grohl is having nightmares, and Taylor Hawkins is his girlfriend in bed, and they go through the whole scenario. Spoiler alert again if you've never seen it. And at the end, they fight the bad guys off, and then like they pop out of the bed, like they add an extension to the actual song, and the band jams, and it's fucking great. It's a great video. You could pick any Foo Fighters video and throw it on your list.
Because it's my favorite song. It's not my favorite video of theirs. I do have a Foo Fighter video in my top 5.
I just wanted to throw in there. I know this isn't 6. I'm not picking an extra. I just want
to. Why don't you just pick 10? Do it. Why don't you just finish off the show?
Change
Go ahead.
The fucking rules.
Why don't you just tell everybody about your favorite 25 videos? Go.
When I was looking at Closer, Rodney, I was like, how they give you the selections to the right, which always sends you down a fucking shitty rabbit hole.
Yeah.
The video for 9 Inch Nails, The Perfect Drug, came up, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen that video.
Is it vampire-y?
It's vampire. It's very Interview with a Vampire.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Fuck, it's cool. It's just fuck. Trent Reznor just looks like a damn god in it, man. He's just scary looking. It's
I forgot that movie does. That movie does look like it's very Interview with a Vampire, right?
It's cool. I mean, there's a little bit of a dated feel to it, but not really. But it's fucking good. So I just want to throw that to the class. I want to throw that up to the room. That's not a choice. I found it.
What's the story with that song? He didn't want that out. He didn't
really
want. Yeah, that was one of those rough copy things that went out there and it just got out. I don't know that he does that live. Perfect Drug. There's a history with that song. We'll have to look into that.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was one of those things that was part of a movie. It was a movie soundtrack, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I remember when that's because the song is cool as shit. I love that song. But there's a little breakdown in the middle where it's like all this weird static and shit. And then the drums kick in. And those drums sound so great. That drum solo or whatever you want to call it. It's so good. Right. So I remember fucking our boss, Vince, he goes, "Hey, Jason, can you do me a favor?" I go, "What?" He goes, "You hear all that static in the middle of this song?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Can you edit that out so we can play it?" I go, "What? It's part of the song, dude."
Yeah, I remember that. He wanted that out of there. I'm like, dude, that's what he did. He's like, "Yeah, I can't have that cutting out like that." I'm like, "What?"
I go, "It's Trent Reznor, dude. I didn't do it. I'm going on record right now. Vince, I didn't do it. I didn't fucking do it. I said I did it. I lied. I didn't do it. I did it. I didn't do it. I feel like a bad boy right now. But I'm not going to edit fucking Trent Reznor's song, man.
It was in the movie Lost Highway.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I do remember the story around that getting leaked or something, and he wasn't happy with it or something. He had a different version he was going to release or some shit.
Something like that. Yeah, I'll have to look into that.
But it's a great song. I love that fucking song.
Yeah, Nine Inch Nails videos are great. I mean, Head Like a Hole. Even before, back up, Head Like a Hole. You want to talk about violence and hanging upside down in the tape, remember?
Yeah,
the black tape everywhere and stuff.
So cool. Man. So cool.
Are we punishing
Yes.
Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit?
I know.
Is there a better video that, when I talked about an accompaniment for the song, we know what the importance of the song. We're sick of it. We're sick of the song. But I mean, how is that not one of the best videos of all time on your list? How is that not one of your favorite videos? I don't have it on mine either.
I love it.
It smells like Teen Spirit. It's amazing.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
You know what? I think I'm getting to a point where I'm purposely leaving shit off because I think we talk about the same shit all the time. I'm catching myself doing that. Like, we fucking talk about it all the time. I'm not talking about Nirvana this week. And that's probably a mistake. But I don't want to keep talking. I don't want to keep beating a dead horse. I did want to ask you this. Is Smells Like Teen Spirit as big without the video? I already know the answer. Why do I ask these questions?
Yes.
It is. Without the video, that song is as big without the video. That video fucking really sold it to a whole nother stratosphere because it was on MTV constantly. It just added to it. It just, like you said, it was a perfect match. You don't always get that perfect match between the video and the song. Sometimes it's just fucking, what are you doing? This is just music playing in the background of this dude walking down the street.
It's hard. It's hard to say. I do think that the song still sparks a movement. I think the song on its own with no video sparks a movement. Thank God they did. They didn't have to do as great a video, but that video is fucking amazing. I mean, it's unbelievable, right? I mean,
still holds up.
The imagery and everything about it. I mean, the cheerleaders with the tattoos, the anarchy, and it's just amazing. And the way that it's shot.
And fun fact, because that's what we do. Kurt Cobain actually wanted like really large cheerleaders. He wanted some big gals, if you know what I mean, right? To play that role. And he fought the producer. The producer was like, "Dude, we can't. I know what you're trying to do here. I know you're trying to like really say some shit here, but dude, let me go find some strippers. Okay, come on, let's not fight over that one." Kurt Cobain had a lot to do with that video. People just think, you have people who do your videos. Now, Kurt was involved in that one big time. Yeah, I didn't even put it on my list.
Nor did I.
Yeah, what do you got, man?
Okay, top 5. In at number 5, Beastie Boys, Sabotage.
Damn it, I had that too, man.
I'm not the world's biggest Beastie Boys fan. I don't think you are either. It's weird that we're from the state of New York and neither one of us are going to be, the first guy standing in line. But that video was different. That's when they really started. They were really plugged in. They were playing their own instruments. But the look of that, the look of the 1970s, maybe early 80s, the ill-fitting clothing, the bad wigs, the streets of New San Francisco look, whatever it was awesome. The cars, I love movies that try to depict a certain time period. Yep. I'm obsessed with the haircuts, and then I'm obsessed with not what car they're driving, because that's easy. I'm obsessed with every car that's parked in the street, and just to see if they get it right. And that video, they got it right. It was just so awesome. And it's a great song too. I just thought it was funny. Those guys are always funny, and they're always like super on brand. So I thought Beastie Boys Sabotage, my favorite Beastie Boys song by far. Yeah. But the video is great. In at number 4. So Guns N' Roses' November Rain is on every list of like the greatest videos of all time. And I just don't think it superseded the excitement of Welcome to the Jungle.
Right.
When I saw Welcome to the Jungle, they looked so scary. It was like I had that feeling when I was a little kid and I saw Kiss, and I really was afraid. Right. I was afraid of Kiss. Gene Simmons was so terrifying to me. When I watched that, they just looked so dirty. They looked awesome. They looked so cool and dirty. And that video, they just looked like a gang. Yeah. And even though they've made amazing videos afterwards, the rawness of them playing on stage, it was awesome. And then Axl teased his hair, never did it again. Only teased his hair one time.
It just made it so much more, it was over the top. I remember watching that too, going, I don't ever want to be near those guys. Those guys scare the shit out of me. Like, yeah. They look like, you're
look dangerous.
You're getting a switchblade in the ribs when you hang out with those guys. Like, that's what it looked like. It felt like to me.
So I don't see that on a whole lot of lists. I see November Rain, but I knew Guns N' Roses had to be here. And when that video came on, it's just, what am I watching here? Number 4. Number 3, Foo Fighters, Learn to Fly is not my favorite Foo Fighters song, but it is definitely my favorite Foo Fighter video. Dave Grohl playing the multiple roles, everybody in the band playing multiple roles, but Dave, and then they got, Tenacious D to be in the video. I think it's funny because they also got to play themselves. Dave probably plays 4 or 5 different roles in that movie. He puts on the fat suit and everything. They are a great video band. Nobody can deny that. If you don't like the Foo Fighters and you're sick of us gushing over them, tell me a better video band than the Foo Fighters. And I can't really compare them. I don't know Drake videos and I don't know Beyonce videos. But as far as a rock band, who's made more better videos than the Foo Fighters? I don't think anybody.
I can't think of anybody that made, and they're not all like serious. They're all just fun and goofy. They're all funny. A lot of them parody things. Yeah. A lot of them, some of them are uncomfortable. They're good, but it just, you can tell that, the acting, which, it's funny because the Foo Fighter movie is opening up this weekend. You feel like Dave really was some sort of a stage kid back in the day, which I know he did a very little bit of that, but you feel like maybe he wishes he would have done a little bit more of that stuff because he really is a natural in front of the camera. Yeah, he's very comfortable, but I just feel like he's a guy who's just comfortable in his own skin wherever he goes. He's always relaxed, Yeah, great choice.
In at number 2, I went back to what you said, Hot for Teacher.
Wow.
That video is awesome. It's awesome. That nobody wanted to do that choreographed dance. That Eddie probably fought DLR tooth and nail, and just Alex half-asses it. And that's what makes it so great.
Oh, because they're all off.
They're out of sync. They're not doing it right. All of it. Everything about it is great in its imperfections. And it's just, they really could have been, if they were just been around longer, they would have been the greatest video band of all time, just because Dave's vision. Look what Dave did when he went solo, all of that stuff. He was so next level. on being, hey, I can't do just one thing. I want to be this guy and this guy and this guy. And he really had the vision. And I know that he had to fight for all of that stuff, but Van Halen was smart to let Dave drive when it came to videos.
Oh yeah. And then they made a video.
Because they would have if it was up to the Van Halen brothers, and Alex isn't calling any shots. If it was up to Eddie, they would have fucking never even had a camera around.
No, they would have no videos, man.
Right.
They did Roy Orbison's Pretty Woman for Diver Down.
Yeah.
And they did that because it was supposed to be a filler song, because they had been going bang, 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 an album tour, and they were like, okay, we need a fucking break. And the record label was like, well, you still got to stay top of mind. So all right, fuck. So they went in and they recorded Pretty Woman, a great version. I love it, right? And then the record label's like, hey, that's really good. We need a video. So then Roth got hell bent on making this crazy fucking video. You look at it on YouTube.
Out there.
It's out there. They're all playing different. Eddie Van Halen's like a cowboy, like Roth is Napoleon. It's really fucked up. It's not very good. So if you listen to the album, there's this little thing called Intruder, right? It's just fucking around the guitar, basically making a bunch of noise. That's an accompaniment with Pretty Woman that kicks right into it. Well, that was only reason that exists. That piece of music exists is because Dave's vision for the video for Pretty Woman was longer than the damn song. So they said, we need more music. So they had to go and make that fuck around bit in the beginning of Pretty Woman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that's why that's there. That's the only reason that piece of music even exists. And I'm not auctioning off my kick-ass Eddie Van Halen picture, by the way. Sorry.
I'm just saying, dude.
Good luck with your golf tournament, but no.
For the kids.
I know. But damn it. Now you make me feel bad. Shit. Number one, what do you got? Hot for Teacher's still great.
My favorite video of all time. It was the first video they ever did. They were way late to the game, but they finally had a piece of music that they felt like was ready, and it's Metallica's One.
Yeah, that is good.
I watched the debut of it. It was another one of those situations where I watched it when it came out, and holy shit. Now, Metallica was just starting to come into their own, and this is Injustice for All. I mean, they had already kind of had this underground thing happening, and people knew who Metallica was, but there was really nothing else for them. There was no other outlet other than their music and them playing, if you were lucky enough to see them live. They held off. They did not believe in videos. And they just came up with this concept. They bought into it. And the one video is still fucking eerie.
Yeah.
It's that old carnival guy looking thing. And then it's the soldier with his arms and his legs blown off. And he's doing Morse code to kill me. And it just
fucked up. That
video is just so dark, ominous. The cutaway with the old film.
Yeah.
Metallica One is probably it's my favorite video.
I haven't seen that one in a long time, but it is disturbing. I remember watching that going, what the fuck is going on in this, man? Yeah.
I just remember it being such a big deal. Metallica did a video. Right. No way. Fucking Metallica doesn't do videos. They did a video, bro.
Yeah. And then of course they went crazy with the videos and they all crying.
Well, you couldn't not. You couldn't not.
It was part of the
held
cycle.
out. I mean, they held out a long, long time. I mean, they didn't put out anything for the longest time. 1989 is when the video came out, and I remember the debut on MTV. It's just like, holy shit, Metallica, and it was a different sounding Metallica song too. I mean, it was,
right.
It was slow. It was very moody, and then of course it rocked out. It had all those elements there, but it just I was okay on the song, and then when I saw the video, boom, it was next level. It was next level.
That's what's great about the videos. There's been songs where I've been okay with throughout. I can't specifically name one right now, but I remember many times like, oh, that song's pretty good. Watching the video and it changed my thought process on the song. Like, oh, wow. Oh, now I really like that song. Because somehow they made the video work. Because like we were just talking about, not every video and song meshes real well. Like there's times you're watching it going, this has nothing to doesn't even fit. What is this? This is like a home movie with music to it. This is stupid, And then it became, through MTV, it just became part of your job that you had to, that's why everybody got pretty. Couldn't have ugly people in vans anymore,
Oh yeah. That's where, I mean,
it had to be pretty people.
Kansas and Foreigner, and they were out the window.
Yeah, you were putting fucking Johnny Winter up there in a video.
Fucking Christopher Cross. Dude, who was hotter than Christopher Cross? Okay. And then videos came out. They're like, the fuck? I can't have this fat hillbilly out there singing. I need some Duran. Bring me Duran Duran.
Sorry, Ram Jam. You're not in. Okay. Jethro Tull. No flutes for us, boy.
If somebody wanted to argue the best video band, I would entertain the band OK Go.
Now
they're just not as big. They're just not a household name. But if I said to you, because you're thinking, okay, I don't know who OK Go is. If I said, okay, the band that did the video on the treadmills, the Treadmill Band, and it's a real catchy song. Okay, it's a really, really good song. The one of the guys, like the guitar player's sister, is a movie maker, because Tool makes good videos too, and they're visual artists and all of that. Adam is all in that world, but OK Go's sister does all those videos, and they've done those Rube Goldberg things before. They've done some of the most clever music videos, and the songs aren't bad. The videos make the songs a lot better. They're real catchy songs. I don't ever listen to OK Go, but they might be the best video band out there. They would probably give the Foo Fighters a run for their money as far as not being, whatever's in the pop world. And Michael Jackson's probably the greatest, MTV video musician of all time, right? Would it be Michael Jackson? And people superseded what he's done. I mean, is Thriller still thought of as the greatest video ever?
It depends on your age group, I guess. Yeah, maybe. I guess it's always at the top of most lists when you look up these lists. Thriller kept
right?
popping up. Thriller this, Thriller that. I always thought Beat It was a better video. I always like that. Thriller just went on too long. I was like, what the fuck? All right,
yeah, it was super long.
Bunch of zombies dancing. Video. It's great. You know what band we didn't bring up at all, and I'm just now thinking about it. I might have to go back and look at their videos. Linkin Park always made cool videos. Who's the guy in the band there? Mr. Han, whatever his name is. He was the guy who made all the videos. They always had some pretty cool, trippy videos, So
they did.
Linkin Park, I skipped right over that shit. I didn't even think about those guys until just now.
But they're coming in on a time where MTV is not.
Yeah, they're not getting played.
They're making that transition now from rock to Britney Spears.
Right.
And I mean, MTV, it was all rock. It was almost all rock videos when they turned that sucker on. And it was awesome. And you saw new stuff. You saw stuff you didn't know because there just wasn't enough videos. So they were putting some bands from England on there. You saw, you got introduced to so much new stuff. And then they put a bunch of classic rock bands on there and old live footage of shit because they just didn't have enough time to fill.
And that's what helped a lot of bands get success because they just didn't have enough shit. Bands got successful because they were the only ones that had videos, because you'd occasionally make promo videos and then you never thought anything would happen with it, and then next thing you know it's on MTV because you got lucky with timing, even though you're in fucking some shitty band with beards.
ZZ Top. We used to lose our mind when those videos came on.
Yeah, because I used to love
it was the chicks, it was the car. And then it was those guys were kind of cool and they kind of they didn't really talk. They were the singers, they were in the band, but they just kind of were like these mystical guys that showed up and fucking gave the nerd keys. And then he got to go and get in an amazing car with super hot chicks. And, they were just like these good luck charms, these little guys that would pop in to help people out. Yeah, and they would just kind of appear and disappear. And it was awesome. I mean, those ZZ Top videos were fucking great. Every one of them.
They were like two bearded Silent Bobs.
Yeah.
With great car keys. It's like, what the fuck? Every video. And they would have a continuation. The next song. Oh shit. I wonder if this dork's going to get the fucking keys, man.
Yes. That's all you needed was the keys. When you got the keys from the ZZ Top guys, you got the car. Boom. Fucking chicks are rolling out of that car.
Yeah.
And the girls that rolled out of that car, I haven't watched those videos in years.
No.
They were the smokingest things I had ever seen in my life. They were the smokingest women of all time. Not just to be outdone by that fucking teacher in Hot for Teacher. When she gets on that long table and she takes off her thing, she's got that blue bikini on, lights out. Absolutely lights out.
just because it was so cool too. You're like, you're like, okay, whoa, yeah, shit, yeah, all right, that's cool. Yeah, the ZZ Top videos. I remember watching those all the time, just going, just why won't they throw me the keys? You always wanted to be, you'd hope that you'd be standing at the convenience store and fucking ZZ Top would show up and throw you some keys. You're like, I need to get out of this hoopty. Give me a hot rod. Come on, boys. And they never did. They never fucking did, Rodney. I never got the ZZ Top keys.
I wrote down Weezer, Buddy Holly.
I had it.
Fucking great video.
So great.
I think it's that Spike Jonze guy. I think anything that Spike Jonze has done is phenomenal.
I just watched today the one that's I just watched it too. I suck. I should have wrote it down. The one where Christopher Walken is dancing.
Weapon of choice.
Weapon of choice. I remember watching
Great
it the first time. I'm like, what the fuck? That guy can dance.
Yeah.
It blew my mind.
I watched that with my kid. So London and I will watch that. And the other video I wanted to mention, just because it's such a hit in my house. Do you know what the Black Keys Lonely Boy?
So great. The dude,
you know the video
out there in front of in front of the hotel or whatever.
It's just a black guy dancing.
Yep. It's great.
That's it. There's nothing else to it. Black Keys, Lonely Boy. My kid used to lose her mind to Lonely Boy, and she would dance, and I'd have to play it again and again. That's why these things have 1 billion views on them. Kids want to see it because they can. Right. They want to see it. I mean, I would have done that with Hot for Teacher back in the day if I had the control. I would have done that with I would have done that with ZZ Top. I bet you I would have watched ZZ Top on a loop for 3 hours, the same song over and over again. We just didn't have the capability of doing that. Now she knows that she can watch it. I want to watch it again. It's, it's just the same thing with Baby Shark and everything else. Right. But the Black Keys, I probably gave that thing 1 million views. Probably, I'm responsible for at least 1 million of those views on YouTube.
And the thing now is that, we're talking specific era, because with YouTube being what it is now, there's so many trillions of videos. Like, people are probably screaming and go, what about this video? What about this video? Well, we kind of grew up in the MTV era. I still watch a lot of videos that come out, but I couldn't tell you who does what anymore. It's not there. It's not in your face. You have to go look for it now. You're not sitting around waiting for it to come out. I can. Yeah, but
imagine. if you like that band and you follow them on social media, they're going to tell you, hey, our video's out, and they're going to put here's my link. Boom. Okay. Shit. Did you hear that? Papa Roach, Twitter, they got a new video out. Boom. I'm going to go, or whatever. Watching it on the, being able to watch what you want and having everything at your fingertips. It's amazing. It's great. It is amazing. It's just different. It's the same as, only getting to see cartoons on Saturday morning. We fucking lost our mind, or you only got 1 hour of wrestling. Back to the wrestling show. We got 2 hours because we get to watch Canadian wrestling, but that was it. There was no Monday Night Raw and Tuesday night fucking semi-raw, and then Wednesday night,
really raw.
Scabbed up, and then Thursday night skin knee, and then Friday night. They didn't have that. Yeah, there was 1 hour. 1 hour of wrestling, you lost your mind. So when your song came on MTV, it was awesome. It was amazing.
And now you can just pause those Dua Lipa videos on YouTube and just drool. You just can. It's great. I love that. I love technology.
Fuck that. Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion.
All of them. I like all of them, Rod. I'm going to get some fucking face tats so then those girls will like me now. Because that's the thing. You got to be a skinny, weird dude in tattoos and you're good. You're good to go now. It's our time, finally. Oh.
Yeah, but you don't want Kanye putting a hit out on you.
Dude, that's a whole fucking world of hurt right there. That dude's messed up. Like, he's messed up. Well, I mean, yes, obviously in a million different ways. It's a shame. Talented dude, just fucking messed up, bro.
So there is a documentary out right now on him, and it's called Genius. And I want to see it.
I kind of do. I don't.
I want to see it because here's why I want to see it. Because he had cameras following him around from day one. And you're thinking, well, no big deal. It's fucking Kanye West. Kanye West wasn't always Kanye West. Kanye West was another rapper, young kid that was trying to get a record deal and was throwing everything out there to try to do what he could do. He had cameras on him. He has stuff when he was just pitching ideas and they stuck with it.
Jesus.
Meaning, how many hundreds? It's got to be thousands of cameras that start on young kids or a crew or a band or something, and nothing comes of it. And you've basically essentially fucking wasted your time.
Yep.
And that's what's most interesting to me about this video. They hung in there with this kid and they said, okay, it's real easy to look back now and say, well, geez, you had to know he was going to be special. No, you didn't. You didn't. But they hung in there, and the footage and the access and the rawness that they have of him, I want to see it. I really do. And I could give a flip about Kanye West. I want to see this documentary.
I just read something yesterday. The guys who produced it and directed it, they shut when he was running, you remember when he ran for president a couple of years ago, they shut the cameras off. They said, we're not filming this. This is too uncomfortable. That's all they'd say. They said it was too uncomfortable. I took it to mean like they didn't want to fucking film this shit show because it was bad. You know, they didn't film it. They're like, nah, we're going to shut her down for this. This is fucked up.
My problem with everything that's out there right now, I don't know. And again, now this is old man River talking. I just don't know how to find all this stuff. It's mind numbing. I'm not fucking paying for Hulu. I'm not paying. I think I get Peacock for free. And then there's this streaming platform. It was so much easier when it was just Netflix. It really was. And again, I'm just talking. Now you have so many more choices. I'm just not tracking down all this shit. But I'm not seeing it either. Okay. You don't have Apple TV. Okay. You're fucked. You can't see Ted Lasso. There's another documentary, and I have no idea where to find it, but it's taken a long time to get done, but it's out there now. And it is about the Great White Fire, the band Great White and the fire. I think it's called, and I think part of the title, maybe the subtitle is The Death List, not the guest list, the death list. And here's where I'm going to sell you on this documentary. So, okay, they're playing in a club. Why the fuck are they using pyro in this small club? If you don't know, a lot of people got killed. Okay. This is one of the deadliest concerts of all time. And it's in a club in Rhode Island. Over 100 people died. The reason why it's called it's called something, and then it's like the death list. The singer, Jack White, is either out at a diner, he's pumping gas, he's doing something, and some kids recognize him.
Oof.
And they're like, fuck, what's up, blah, blah, blah. And they're freaking out. They're meeting this singer of this band. He's like, give me your name, kids. I'll put you on the guest list. Now you're going to a fucking concert, and the lead singer is putting you on the guest list.
Oof.
This is the greatest day of your life.
Yeah, well.
This is the greatest day of your life.
Mm.
Well, spoiler alert, those people that Jack White put on the guest list died.
Mm.
How fucked up is that? I mean, think about if you really were like this huge fan of this band and you run in and fucking David Lee Roth pumping gas and DLR puts you on the guest list.
Oh, it's a great
Go see the band. And I get it. Great White's not on that level, but you got to understand when people meet celebrities like this, they freak out. That documentary is out somewhere.
Yeah, it's coming out in February. I'm looking at it right now. I can't find what the fuck it's called, but whatever. Yeah, going back to that. I remember when it happened and just being like shocked. Like how many times have you been in a shitty club over the years watching a band or in some sort of venue and you're just like, wow, it sure is hot in here. Wow, there's a lot of people here. But did you ever think of like any problems? No. After fucking that Great White tragedy, I started thinking about, okay, I'd walk into a venue and go, all right, where's the fucking exits? Where's the exits? And then they changed all the rules for all the bands. Remember after the year after that, it was like no pyro, no nothing, no anything indoors. And really, when you think about it, kind of makes sense, All
right. It's called the guest list. Okay. So it's not the death list. It's the guest list, the Station Nightclub Fire, America's Deadliest Rock Concert. Reels, REELZ. Do I get reels? I don't know
what that is. I don't know what that fucking is.
I'm not fucking paying for it. I can tell you that.
No, I'm not either, man. I got enough shit to pay for.
It just came out on Sunday.
Oh, God.
So that's the assignment. Reels. It's supposed to be great, and it's like anything. they shoot 300 hours and they got to get it down to an hour and a half or 2 hours. It's like, how are you going to do that? How are you going to do that?
I just thinking about back on that tragedy is like, it just seemed like a lot of bad things all happened at once. I mean? Like there was just a bunch of errors that happened. The ceilings were too low. The chargers were too jacked. There was this fucked up foam. There was this fucked up foam on the walls that was not flame retardant.
No. But it was for sound. And some guy that lived nearby, he's like, I'm going to shut you down. They're just doing anything to keep the sound in the club. This stuff lit up like nothing.
Right.
So it's just, I want to see, who's responsible. That's what you do. You watch this thing, and I don't think they've got an agenda because the bands did. Jack Russell's in it. The band, the Survivors, they talk about it. That's why you watch a documentary and then you say, okay, I think this person's to blame, or I think this person's to blame. I mean, nothing's going to bring back those people, but that's why you watch that stuff and then you formulate your own opinions. It's just, you're hoping that they're giving you a view of everything right down the road, and it's not coming from, the band did not pay for this.
Right.
So the band didn't put this out to make them look good, because there's not really a lot of heat on them. But something else that comes out of this is, Great White is thought of as maybe in this, they're kind of lumped in with the hair metal bands. And because this happened, they weren't getting a lot of support from the music community. Nobody was coming in to say, hey, we'll help you out, with this big benefit show. And, where the fuck is Bruce Springsteen and stuff? This is the worst concert. It's bigger than the music. But because it was one of those hair metal bands, they really weren't getting a lot of assistance from other people. And I think Dee Snider kind of blasts. I think he's got a pretty big moment in this documentary where he brings that up.
Makes sense, because they just disappeared. Like the whole thing was like, it happened and then Great White disappeared for, I mean, how do you actually get back on the stage afterwards? I mean, you're one of the guys in the band. The guitar player, somebody in the band got killed.
Yes.
A band member got killed. So it's like, how do you get on stage ever after that? Or how do you, I mean, that's a huge, and now I'm pretty sure the guys in Great White, they didn't go, well, let's burn the club down tonight. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure they didn't want that to happen. They may have to take I don't know. I want to watch the documentary. Do they take a little bit of the responsibility? Because it's ultimately they're the band, your name is on it,
Absolutely.
So,
and that's why
they have to bear the brunt of some responsibility there, unfortunately.
Well, we got a week. Let's see if we can make that let's make that a bit of a homework assignment.
You're not gonna fucking watch it because you're gonna make you pay for something else, and you're like, fuck Reels.
Do I get Reels? What is Reels?
I swear I've never heard of Reels before, dude. I've never heard of it. Maybe it's online or some shit. You just punch it up for $1 or something.
I'll pay $5 for it, but I'm not getting, what I'm not doing is I'm not saying, hey, just get in for 3 months and then just fucking never quit. And then we'll just ding you every month.
Yep. No, because I forget to quit everything, man. I got shit in this house. I still got an AOL account I'm probably still paying for somewhere.
Reels.
Sure.
The network commercials are stated. Yeah, Reels. I don't know what Reels is. We got to find it.
And like, how do you, and I'm not trying to make light of the situation, but like, say you're a fan of maybe you're an okay fan of Great White. I was never a huge fan. They come to town. How excited are you about going into a room with fucking Great White? I mean, I know there's rules now and they're not going to burn the place down again, but you'd be a little apprehensive to go see Great White. I got to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it certainly happened at their show, but
it could happen to anybody though, dude. Yes. They just got
anybody making poor pyro decisions. It could happen. I mean, it just goes to show you. I mean, who's got more pyro than Kiss? And Kiss hasn't burned down a place, so it just shows you how safe they are and what knuckleheads they must have been to think that they could, blow off. And it's probably like fucking Roman candles or something, dude. I mean, I remember you and I going to see Quiet Riot in Metairie, and they had big sparklers on the stage. Like, it was embarrassing. They were like sparklers.
A couple of little kids come out. Hey, we're not
terrible.
Come on, feel the noise, boys. Yeah, I don't. It could have been anybody. You know what they needed? You know what Great White needed? They needed the road manager from 3 Doors Down. That dude don't play. See what we're getting at? That's why he's got so many rules, Rod. Now you figured it all out. That's it.
Just find out. Come over here and check my cable. See if I got reels.
I'm not fucking
somebody.
No.
All right. Well, this is your homework assignment, and then everyone else, anybody that's still listening, in the comments below on YouTube, tell me, where do I find reels? Okay, because I want to keep it reels. I like to keep it reels. So tell me where the reels is, and then I will watch the documentary. I'd like to talk about it.
Yeah, I would like to see it too, because anytime there's music involved, and that was I just remember that just being brutal, man. Just fucking, you're like, oh, good Lord, because you know how many shows you've been to, and you kind of start thinking, oh man, that band was throwing out some fire. Jesus, that could happen to me.
100 people died, and it's like the deadliest concert. But because it was Great White, you're right, it went away pretty quickly. It wasn't at a Guns N' Roses show. No. So.
And there's been pyro acts. I mean, look what happened to James Hetfield, man, up in Canada. He stepped too soon. The pyro blew, melted his arm and shit. He was fucked up for a while. There's been a lot of accidents over the years.
Look what we just had happen here with Astro World Festival, with Travis Scott.
Right.
And, it wasn't 100 people that died, but anybody dying at a concert, is a tragedy. And this was 100 people that died at this show. It's on a level that we haven't seen at a concert before.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the documentary. Rod, I wanted to ask you before we finish this up, man. Last week, you said you were going to be writing down your affirmations. What were you're writing down? Like
gratitude, affirmations, what the fuck I'm thankful for. And
so you're not doing it, it sounds like.
Go get them. I did it one day.
Yeah,
I had the pad of paper there. I did it one day. I'm like, okay, you know what? And I'm just like, okay, well, you know what? I'm really, really feeling grateful that I have this beautiful child. She's healthy. It's the greatest accomplishment of my life. Okay, done. Okay, I'm great. Okay, that's my thing. Like I showed gratitude when I woke up, wrote it down, said a couple of nice things about my kid, and then I forgot the next day. And then I went, oh shit, I forgot the gratitude thing. So I woke up the next day and I'm like, fuck, I don't know, man. I got to get in the shower. Fuck, I'm thankful there's hot water. Great. Hot water. That's my thing. And then it just be nothing. I just can't do that kind of canned, forced bullshit. I can't do it. It's not for me. Major fail. I'm taking an L on that big time. I did it 1.5 times.
It's not bad. That's a good run.
I was out by day 3. By day 4, I was out. I skipped day 2. Happy about the hot water on 3. 4, I said, I'm not doing it.
I'm happy that I got the brains to quit this shit. Day 5, done.
I'm like, I'm thankful my fucking alarm clock went off at 3:20. Kick ass. Thanks. Get me to work on time. Yeah. I don't have that. I'm not that thankful a person in the morning.
That's tough. It's
a terrible time for me. The morning is a terrible time. What was I thinking that I was going to change something after doing something the same way for such a long time? I was setting myself up for failure on the being nice in the morning.
Now, when you got this idea, did they say that you have to do it in the morning? Wouldn't it make more sense to do it before you go to sleep at night because you've had a full day of activities? No. Hey, you know what? Today kicked ass, and this is what I'm thankful for. You're winding down. You're kind of, the air's coming out of the tires.
Came with the whole thing. It came with a whole fucking package of shit to do. Came with a whole bunch of shit.
Huh.
Do a little stretching. Try to do a little exercise first thing in the morning. Dude, meditate. Go fuck yourself. Meditate in the morning. Who's getting up early enough to do that?
You already get up early enough, dude. You can't
drink a lot of water. I do that. But they say first thing, boom. Slam a glass of water. First thing.
Yeah.
I like that idea,
The gratitude thing, that should be an evening thing to me, it feels like. It just does. It seems to work.
No, you're supposed to start your day on a positive note. It's because you're going into bullshit. You're getting up. A lot of us are getting up. We're going into traffic. We're starting one of the busiest portions of our entire day. Boom, you're getting hit over the head with it first thing in the morning. Let me talk about something that's great. Let me show my gratitude, thankfulness, and then go out, and then maybe it'll make it a little easier. One woman, chick that was listening to the show, she said, She goes, Rod, I didn't think you were going to be able to do this from listening to you. And I said, okay, well, thanks. But you're right. She said that she catches her kids almost being a little twittery, meaning Twitter, if you want, everybody knows social media. It's anger, and that's the shit that gets the most engagement. It's people bitching about stuff. That's what really gets the movement on social media. And she said her kids get a little like that, where they're getting a little bitchy, and she's like, something good. Got to say something good right now. And she did kind of start this, like you were saying, it's not first thing in the morning, but it does. Everyone does get together for dinner or whatever. And she's like, you can bitch and moan all you want. Say something good that happened today. And she really started, and she said she noticed a bit of an improvement. She felt that it was working. And she said, as corny and as cheesy as it was, and on days that I didn't feel like doing it, I still forced my kids to say something good, to say something positive. And then they could bitch about teachers and kids and things that are going on in school. And she said that she felt like she noticed a bit of a change. So I believe in this stuff. I just need to be more disciplined on it. I have very little. It's not that I don't have mental discipline. I got amazing mental discipline. I just don't have room for any more. I don't know. I'm just because I'm fucking so set in my ways.
Yeah, but you got to find what's right, though. That's the thing. You're trying to shoot you round peg square hole thing, man. You're trying to do this. There's got to be something different. First thing in the morning, that's for everyone else. That's for everyone else. Dude, you get up at 3:00 in the fucking morning. That's not for you. I don't think that's going to be your thing. I think yours might be like, afternoon, heading towards bed, that, and you kind of go, all right, give me 5 fucking minutes, chill out. And then you just kind of write something. You know how you if you wake up in the middle of the night, I know what I do. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll fucking run through shit 100 times and I can't sleep. And people always say, just write it down and you'll go right to sleep. So I tried that a few times and it works. I write it down and bam, I'm out cold. If I don't write it down, I sit there and I roll it and I roll it and I roll it. I'm like, motherfucker. Now, chances are it's shit what I wrote down in the morning. I'm going, oh yeah, right. That's shit. What was I thinking about that for? That's stupid. But you gotta let it out. It's like letting the air out of the tire, man. You gotta let that pressure off. It's the same thing. You gotta find whatever that is. Like me running, whoo-wee, that's it. That's for me, man. I'm about as mellow. I can't get more mellow. I don't think. I really can't get more mellow. I don't think I can. And I don't smoke weed. Got offered some over the weekend.
Did you?
Yeah. Hey, man, I got edibles. Dude, you want some edibles? I got edibles. They're edibles. And I go, yeah, you said it. I go, no, I'm good.
Is he coming back this weekend? I might be into that. I don't even know. No, that stuff would freak me out.
Yeah, I thought about it for a second. I really did. I was like, well, that might not be bad. Yeah, my mom got a tattoo at 71. I could start doing drugs at 50. Thought about it. It's still time yet. There's still time yet. Any final thoughts, Ron?
I was going to bring up my failure, but you brought that up. But I was going to cop to the fact that I did try it. That was going to be my thing last week and didn't work. It's okay.
Dude, you know what? You can't get them all. You can't get them all. Sometimes you gotta recognize you can't get them all. You move on to the next one. That's it. You know what my final thought is, Rod? And you're going to love it. You're going to fucking love it. I caught this. Caught a rubber chicken from the parade.
Oh God, don't. My dog's going to lose it.
I know. It's great. My dog loses her shit. She's probably downstairs fucking running around, ripping up the couch right now.
I don't have a lit up one like that.
Yeah. So Mardi Gras coming up this weekend. If you can't make it in this year, plan now for next year. It's fucking gonna be great this year. I'm so excited about it. You're coming to town. I cannot wait for Sunday. Hanging out on the avenue. There's nothing like playing catch in the street with a bunch of random strangers all day long in between all the parades. Yes. I must have thrown a football. To explain, you got a parade, and then you got some time, and then another
downtime in between the parades.
Well, it's a street party. Everyone comes out, and someone's always playing music, so you'll get these huge groups of people dancing in the middle of the street, literally like the song "Dancing in the Street." And then kids, there's just footballs fucking flying everywhere. If you don't get hit in the face with a football at least 20 times while you're at a parade route, you're at the wrong place. Like I must have played catch with 70 kids over the weekend.
I can't wait.
It was so freaking awesome. It's so much fun. People don't understand that part about Mardi Gras. when people say Mardi Gras, all you're thinking is titties and Bourbon Street. And man, I've been taking my kids to Mardi Gras since right after they were born, basically, you know, and they understand it and they get it and they love it, you know. It's a different world up there on the family sections of Mardi Gras. It's not.
Yeah, I'll take lots of pictures and I'll share with a lot of people. I'll take a lot of pictures though, for sure, in video.
That's the best. I can't wait. I love that fucking thing, dude. Oh wait, no, look at this. I caught this. I caught lipstick, but it's a pen.
Oh, nice.
It's lipstick. It looks like lipstick. I'm wearing a Mardi Gras bead, and it's from one of the female parades. They throw these lipstick things. It looks like, you know, lipstick, and you take the top off where the red is, and it's a pen. Dude, the people are getting functional with their throws these days. It's pretty cool. It's pretty
now,
cool.
Nobody's throwing you shit. I'm assuming that stuff all was headed towards your kid, and then you just kind of reached over and grabbed a few things.
Yeah, he's fucking 13. He's still smaller than me. I'm pushing him out of the way, dude. It's Mardi Gras. I'm catching.
My kid's gonna be a bead magnet, and they see her out there.
Perfect age, perfect size, blonde hair. Holy shit! I'm gonna go buy a van and bring it because your kid's gonna catch everything. It's gonna be great. I don't know what you're gonna do with it all, but you're gonna catch a shit ton of stuff. Kids,
I can't wait.
Kids, chew it up, man. All right, that's enough. I'm out of here. I've had enough.
All right, episode 41. Thank you guys for checking this out. At Playpants Pod. How about your top 5 videos? I did see some of you guys leaving your top 5 Green Day songs from last week. Thank you very much for that. Top 5 videos of all time. How bad did we miss the mark? What did we forget? We always like reading your lists. Comment, subscribe, podcast, and YouTube, and all the other social shit. Go check it out.
And if somebody says, hey, man, you listen to podcasts, and they're like, what do you listen to? Say Playpants. Yeah, we want to expand. We want to get more people listening, man. Any suggestions along the road? And the suggestion can't be get rid of Jason. Okay. I don't want to see that suggestion. All right. Please, not that one. Or get rid of Rod. We don't want to see that suggestion. We're doing this together. All right. That's not a suggestion.
Okay. So I'm not rolling with you on Saturday, but you're rolling in Tux on the pirate ship.
Right.
And I heard a rumor. And I know it's very tough because there's so much stimulus. There's so much coming at you. But I heard a rumor that there may be a Playpants sign being held up somewhere on the avenue. That's all I know. Dude, I'll try to get a better location, but I heard there may be something.
If we can get a location, it is easier because the sign, you know, everyone's yelling. So imagine like when you're at a rock concert and you're 20 rows back and you're yelling to, you know, Eddie Van Halen, he ain't hearing you. You put up a sign, he may see your sign. So Mardi Gras is that way. I always tell people, make a sign that says skull on it, and I will see that shit because we do these hand-painted skulls.
Right.
Dude, if I see a Playpants sign during Mardi Gras, I'll fucking cry. I'll be up there like a blubbering little bitch. That'd be cool.
I heard a pretty strong rumor.
Dude, I see that. That's going to be awesome. So, you know, whatever. Enjoy Mardi Gras, and hope to see somebody out there along the route. Looking forward to it. So that's enough. I'm done. I got to get out of here.
Later, everybody. Thank you.
Let's go. It's time. Put on Playpants.
Find us wherever you listen to podcasts. See us on our YouTube channel and follow our social media pages at Playpants Pod.